The tale begins right where the first part ended. On the day of Will Turner and Elizabeth Swan's wedding in Port Royal, the skies are heavy and the ceremony is halted. Lord Cutler Becket, the ruthless representative of the East India Trading Company, arrives with arrest warrants in hand. Elizabeth and Will are both taken into custody for aiding the escape of the infamous Captain Jack Sparrow. Even former Commodore James Norrington is targeted, but he's already vanished, having resigned his post and set out to capture Jack on his own terms. Becket then offers Will a deal: track down Jack Sparrow and bring back his mysterious compass, the one that doesn't point north. In return, Elizabeth and Will both be pardoned. Left with no choice, Will sets off to find Jack and save the woman he loves. Meanwhile, Captain Jack Sparrow is back aboard the Black Pearl, obsessed with a strange scrap of cloth marked with the image of a key. He tells his crew that it leads to a chest filled with unimaginable treasure, but it's clear Jack knows more than he lets on. That night, he examines his compass, but it's not pointing anywhere useful. Disturbed, he retreats below deck, and there an unexpected figure appears: Bootstrap Bill Turner, Will's father. Bootstrap reveals the grim truth. Years ago, Jack made a deadly bargain with Davy Jones, the captain of the ghostly Flying Dutchman. In exchange for raising the Black Pearl from the depths, Jack agreed to serve on Jones's ship after 13 years. That time is now up. If Jack refuses, Davy Jones will send the Kraken, a monstrous sea creature, to drag both him and his ship into the abyss. To make matters worse, Bootstrap, now a cursed sailor aboard the Dutchman, brands Jack with a dark mark, a signal to the Kraken that Jack's time has come. Terrified, Jack orders the Black Pearl to set sail immediately. Meanwhile, the cursed monkey from the last film steals Jack's hat and throws it into the sea. It eventually finds its way to another ship, which is soon destroyed by the Kraken. Back in Port Royal, Elizabeth's father helps her escape captivity. Disguised, she sets off to find Will and clear their names. Will, on the other hand, eventually discovers the Black Pearl on an island, where Jack and his crew have been captured by a tribe of cannibals. Strangely enough, they've made Jack their chief, planning to free his spirit by cooking and eating him. Will is also captured and thrown into a bone cage with the rest of Jack's crew. They attempt a daring escape, and in a comically intense sequence, they swing across cliffs and obstacles and manage to make it back to the Black Pearl. Once safe, Jack confesses that what Cutler Becket really wants isn't the compass. It's what the compass leads to, Davy Jones's chest, which holds the villain's still-beating heart. To find it, they visit Tia Dalma, a mysterious sea witch. She reveals the true power of the compass. It leads to what the heart desires most. She also explains that the key to the chest is carried by Davy Jones himself, and gives Jack a jar of dirt imbued with sacred land. As long as Jack has that dirt, Davy Jones cannot touch him, for Jones is cursed to never set foot on land. They follow Tia Dalma's directions to the last known location of the Flying Dutchman. There, Will volunteers to board the decaying ghost ship alone. But once he arrives, the real Dutchman rises from beneath the sea, commanded by a grotesque crew of sea creature-like beings. Will is captured and brought before Davy Jones, a terrifying hybrid of man and sea monster. When Will says he's there to settle Jack Sparrow's debt, Jones turns his attention to the Pearl. Using his supernatural powers, he instantly teleports aboard and confronts Jack. Jack pleads for a way out, and Jones strikes a new deal. If Jack can bring him 100 souls in 3 days, he'll be spared. Jack agrees, and the mark on his hand disappears. Now desperate, Jack sails to an island to recruit unwilling crewmen. But he only finds a few, and runs into James Norrington, now disgraced and drunk. Norrington tries to arrest Jack, but Jack escapes, thanks to his crew. Suddenly, Elizabeth appears, also in disguise. She confronts Jack, demanding to know where Will is. Jack tells her Will is aboard the Dutchman. To save him, they must find the chest containing Davy Jones's heart. Knowing Elizabeth's love for Will, Jack hands her the compass. When she holds it, the compass finally points the way. Together with Jack, James, and the crew, Elizabeth sets sail for the mysterious island. Back aboard the Dutchman, Will reunites with his father, Bootstrap. Will wants the key to the chest, but Bootstrap doesn't know where it is, until another crew member whispers the truth. Davy Jones keeps it on him at all times. They watch as Jones joins a game of liar's dice, where the stakes are years of servitude. Will joins the game, betting his soul against the key. Jones agrees and places the key into the pot. Bootstrap joins to help his son, but when Will is about to lose, Bootstrap cheats, and Jones catches him. As punishment, Jones condemns Bootstrap to eternal slavery aboard the Dutchman, but Will now knows where the key is hidden. That night, with his father's help, he sneaks into Jones's quarters and steals the key. He escapes, determined to find the chest. Meanwhile, Jack, Elizabeth, and the crew arrive at the island where the chest is buried. They dig it up, just as Will arrives. But the moment they open it, tensions erupt. Jack, Will, and Norrington all want the heart for different reasons. Jack to escape his fate, Will to free his father, and Norrington to reclaim his career. An epic three-way sword fight ensues, taking them from the beach into a ruined church. The clanging of the church bell alerts the Dutchman's crew, who arrive to retrieve the heart. Amid the chaos, the chest falls and is stolen by a fish-like crewman, until Jack intercepts him and takes the chest back. Jack removes the heart and hides it in the jar of dirt Tia Dalma gave him. But the battle isn't over. The Dutchman's crew overpowers them and escapes with the chest, unaware the heart is missing. Everyone flees back to the Black Pearl, but as they sail away, disaster strikes. The Kraken attacks. Jack briefly escapes, fearing for his life, but returns heroically to help his crew. Together, they rig the ship with explosives and injure the beast, but they know it'll strike again. In a heartbreaking moment, Elizabeth thanks Jack for coming back, and then chains him to the mast. She knows the Kraken only wants Jack, and sacrificing him might save them all. Jack faces the monster alone, sword in hand, as it rises from the depths. In one final act of bravery, he charges into the Kraken's maw and vanishes. The Black Pearl is dragged to the bottom of the sea. Davy Jones watches from afar, confident he has won. But when he opens the chest, he finds it empty. His heart is gone. Back in Port Royal, James Norrington delivers the heart to Lord Beckett, securing his redemption. Beckett now holds the key to controlling Davy Jones himself. Elsewhere, Elizabeth, Will, and the crew mourn Jack's loss. They return to Tia Dalma, asking if there's any way to bring him back. Tia smiles and asks, "Would you sail to the ends of the earth and beyond to retrieve him?" They all say yes. And just then, Captain Barbassa steps out of the shadows, alive and grinning. "So tell me, mate, where is my ship?" The Black Pearl is gone. The Kraken has dragged it to the bottom of the ocean, and with it, Captain Jack Sparrow. Will Turner, Elizabeth Swan, and the remaining crew manage to escape the wreck and find their way back to land. They carry with them the pain of loss and the guilt of leaving Jack behind. But there's one last hope. They return to the dark, mystical hut of Tia Dalma, the voodoo priestess who knows more about the sea than anyone. In the candlelit room, the crew gathers, silent, grieving. Tia Dalma looks around and speaks. "You all want to rescue Jack Sparrow, yes? But you must be willing to go to the very ends of the earth." Everyone nods. Will, Elizabeth, Gibbs, Pintel, Rigetti, each of them ready. Then, footsteps echo. A shadow descends the staircase. A man takes a bite from an apple. It's Captain Barbassa, alive. "So," he says, smiling, "who's ready to go find Jack?" Elsewhere, on the Flying Dutchman, Davy Jones returns to his quarters. He opens the chest that should contain his heart. But it's empty. A low growl escapes his throat. His face contorts in rage. He storms to the pipe organ and begins to play a haunting, painful tune. His ship shudders with the sound. His cursed crew looks on. They know something has shifted. Meanwhile, James Norrington arrives in Port Royal, walking straight into Lord Cutler Beckett's office. He places a wooden chest on the table, the chest containing Davy Jones's heart. Beckett opens it. A smile creeps across his face. With this, he holds power over the sea itself, over Davy Jones, over life and death. James receives back his title, his position, and his respect. Back at Tia Dalma's shack, the crew prepares. Their mission is clear: rescue Jack Sparrow, retrieve the Black Pearl, face whatever lies beyond the edge of the world. They gather supplies, chart unknown waters, and set their course. The story is not over. In a hidden corner of the sea, Jack Sparrow stands in silence, trapped in a ghostly limbo. Endless white sand, a stranded Black Pearl, dozens of crabs crawling around. Time and reality blur. The sea has taken him, but it hasn't ended him. Back on land, the tribe that once crowned Jack as their king has chosen a new ruler. The dog, the same one left behind with the keys in its mouth, now sits proudly on the throne, surrounded by chanting villagers. The drums beat again. The sea waits. The journey to the end of the world has just begun.